Hey teachers, just a real quick reminder for how to back up your files to the H drive. So first thing you need to do is go into VPN and log into VPN. So I'm going to go find my VPN uh, button and go ahead and connect to it. Alright, so now VPN's logged in. I'm going to go to this PC and you will see that I've got my different drives. If there's an X on it after you log into VPN, just go ahead and open it and you should be good to go. It'll open up the folder. I'm going to create a new folder for myself just to remind me. So I'm going to say new folder. I'm going to call this 2020 November backup. All right. Anything that lives in your H drive is good to go. You don't need to make a copy of any of these things. But as you can see, I put some things on my desktop here. So I've got some devices for parent permission. I've got unmute your microphone directions and everything. So I'm going to pick the files on my desktop that I want to move to my backup. I've got some pictures of the No Shape November. I've got different files that I'm going through. And then all you need to do is click and drag it over to that folder. And that's going to copy those files to that November backup folder. Once I have all of the files from my desktop in there, if you do not save your documents to it, then you have to go into another folder. So what I'm going to do is just move this over to the left. I'm going to come down here to this file button. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to click File Explorer. It's going to open up another window. I'm just going to move it over to the side a little bit. And here I just got to make sure I have my November backup folder. To make it less confusing, I'm just going to open it. As you can see, I have my files in there now. Now I'm going to go to my documents, and you can see different folders to save, different files. These are not backed up because these are in the documents section of my hard drive. So I'm going to click on the different files that I want to click and drag over to it. And I'm going to click and drag it over, and then it puts a copy of that file over there in there. So you just figure out which files you need to save, anything from Smart Notebook, and then you click and drag those over, and then you've got a backup for all of the files that are on your desktop and in your documents folder. All right, now let's talk about those bookmarks that you've had saved and put into the right place and everything else. You don't want to lose those. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and open up the internet. And I'm going to come into a new tab to make sure I can see all of my different bookmarks that I like having there. Now I'm going to come up to the three dots in the upper right hand corner and I'm going to go down to bookmarks and go to bookmark manager. From there I'm going to come up to the three dots in the upper right hand corner again right here and I'm going to click on that and I'm going to go to export bookmarks. This is going to create a file where we're going to save it. Now if you save it to your desktop, that won't save it once you image it. So now you got to go back to your H drive. Got to go back to that 2020 backup, that 2020 November backup, and you're going to save it. Now, all the files that you've saved before won't show up when you're saving this, only because this is an HTML document file. So I'm going to click Save. I'm going to go back to my folder to make sure that it's there, just to make sure that it's saved in there. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go to my 2020 backup, and I'm going to make sure that that bookmarks is there. And look, it saves the date for when you saved that bookmark. All right, and same thing for Internet Explorer. I'm going to open up Internet Explorer. I'm going to come up to the star in the upper right-hand corner. I'm going to go to the little arrow next to Add to Favorites, and I'm going to do Import and Export. From here, I'm going to export to a file. I'm going to click Next, and I'm going to pick what I want to save. So I'm going to pick my favorites. I'm going to click Next. It's going to be favorites and favorites bar. I don't have any favorites in Internet Explorer, but if you do, then all of that stuff will show up there. I'm going to click Next, and then you got to tell it where to export it to. So I'm going to click Browse. I'm going to go to my H drive. I'm going to go find that folder again, that 2020 November backup, and I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to click Export, and then I'm going to click Finish. Now, again, I'm just going to double check to make sure it's there. Look at that. Now, it named it two different things, but they look like there's a Chrome and a Chrome. And in essence, it actually, this was the bookmarks for the Internet Explorer, but Chrome is my default. That's why it's picking up as that. So you may want to just rename this, right click on it and click rename and then name it IE bookmarks. That way you know that this is Internet Explorer, and then you know you could rename this one too, and you could call it, I'm going to right click on it and call it Chrome Bookmarks. It's not letting me right click on it. I'm going to right click on this one, click rename, and call this one Chrome bookmarks. Now that just organizes me so I know which ones are which. And that is how you back up your files and your bookmarks to your H drive.